Konnichiwa. Nasreen here from Toronto, Canada. How are you today? It is pretty hot here in Toronto, but I hope you are feeling grounded and at ease. But if not, don't worry. By the end of this video, I trust you'll feel a little more centered and maybe even a little lighter. Here, we talk about personal growth, energy healing, and the deeper teachings of Reiki, helping you align your mind, body, and soul so you can live with more presence and purpose. Not long ago, I found myself deeply moved while listening to an interview with Gelong Tupten, a Buddhist monk and teacher of meditation. I'll share the podcast link in the description. There was a quiet intensity in how he spoke, soothing yet direct. No embellishments, just presence. At one point, the host, Stephen, asked to be guided in meditation. And without hesitation, Tupten looked at the table between them and gently said, "Let's clear this away." There were incense sticks, a singing ball, maybe a bell or two. All the typical things we associate with spirituality. But he said, "You don't need any of it. Meditation doesn't require props." That moment stirred something in me because I felt the same way about Reiki. Over the years, Reiki has become surrounded by symbols, tools, and sometimes even expectations. But at its heart, Reiki is beautifully simple. It begins with awareness, with breath, with a willingness to be present. You don't need anything extra. No music, no special incense, not even the perfect quiet room. Just you, your breath, your hands, and your intention. That's enough. In fact, the deeper I've gone in my own practice, the more I've come to see that Reiki, when practiced regularly, becomes something very close to meditation. It's not just a technique you apply, it's a state you enter, a spaciousness, a quiet inner room where you can meet yourself honestly and gently. Meditation and Reiki may have different origins. Tibetan Buddhism and Japanese energy healing, but their destination is often the same: stillness, compassion, presence. Some people begin with meditation, learning to sit with their breath, to become aware of thoughts and sensations. Others, like many of my students, begin with Reiki because it feels more tangible. There's something grounding about placing hands on the body and sensing energy flow. Over time, the practices begin to weave together. You stop distinguishing between the two. When you do Reiki, you are meditating. When you meditate, you become more attuned to your energy. They merge, not because you force them to, but because they both bring you home to yourself. This reminds me of a beautiful moment I experienced recently. Former student of mine came to mind one morning. I hadn't seen her in over a year. We hadn't connected, and I wondered how she was doing. Later that very day, almost as if in response to my thought, she called. She asked if I had time for a session that afternoon. She wanted to bring a friend who was going through a difficult time, someone who, in her own words, wanted to do something but didn't know what. When her friend arrived, I could sense the overwhelm. She quietly shared that she had considered talk therapy, but didn't feel ready to talk about her story. She didn't want to relive the past. She just wanted some peace, something gentle, something that didn't require her to explain. And that's the beauty of Reiki. It meets you exactly where you are. No storytelling required, just presence, just healing. After the session, her friend asked, "How long will it take me to heal?" Before I could speak, my student answered. She said, "I came for many sessions in the beginning. Then I learned Reiki level 1 and I practiced on myself with breathing techniques, with other tools. Over time, I began to feel calm. I feel peaceful now." It was such a moment of grace for me. Seeing someone who once arrived overwhelmed, now guiding others with wisdom and softness. I added gently, healing is always an individual journey, but it can begin simply with one breath. Whether you're just beginning to explore Reiki or you've been practicing for years, know that there's no one path. Reiki isn't rigid. It's not a checklist or a series of rules. It's a relationship with yourself, with the energy around you, with life itself. And like any deep relationship, it grows over time. Some days are quiet, some days are intense, but every moment is an invitation to return to yourself. Whether through a breath, a Reiki hand placement, or a pause in your day. Every time you turn inward, you're aligning with your inner truth. If this message resonates with you, I'd love to invite you into deeper connection with Reiki. You can learn Reiki through the Japan Reiki Association with certified teachers around the world. Click the website link in the description to explore more. If you or someone you care about are feeling lost or unsure where to begin, Reiki is a beautiful place to start. You're welcome to book an in-person session with me here in Toronto, or if you're elsewhere, find a certified Reiki teacher, healer with Japan Reiki Association near you. We also offer virtual sessions that are just as powerful. And if you are curious about how a virtual session works, I have a dedicated video you can watch. Just follow the link in the description or in the video. Reiki, like meditation, is a way home. It's not about escaping life. It's about meeting life fully and softly from the inside out. So take your time, trust your journey, and remember, you are never behind. You are always becoming. ありがとうございました。Until next time, take good care. And as always, me first with a smile.